When Jerry Anderson first became the president of DTE Energy, he did not believe in the power of higher organizational purpose. We're not talking about having a clear mission that focuses largely on how a business will generate economic value. DTE had one that set out the goal of creating long-term gains for shareholders, and Anderson understood its importance. A higher purpose is not about economic exchanges. It reflects something more aspirational. It explains how the people involved with an organization are making a difference, gives them a sense of meaning, and draws their support. But like many of the leaders we've interviewed in our research, Anderson started his tenure as president skeptical about how much it mattered. The concept of higher purpose didn't fit into his mostly economic understanding of the firm. But then the Great Recession of 2008 hit, and he knew he had to get his people to devote more of themselves to work. Even before the financial crisis, surveys had demonstrated that DTE employees were not very engaged. It was a classic quandary. Employees couldn't seem to break free of old, tired behaviors. They weren't bringing their smarts and creativity to their jobs. They weren't performing up to their potential. Anderson knew that he needed a more committed workforce, but did not know how to get one. That was when retired Army Major General Joe Robles, then the CEO of USAA and a DTE board member, invited Anderson to visit some USAA call centers. Familiar with the culture of most call centers, Anderson expected to see people going through the motions. Instead, he watched positive, fully engaged employees collaborate and go the extra mile for customers. When Anderson asked how this could be, Robles answered that a leader's most important job is to connect the people to their purpose. At USAA, he explained, every employee underwent an immersive 4-day cultural orientation and made a promise to provide extraordinary service to people who had done the same for their country, members of the military and their families. That training was no small investment, since the company had more than 20,000 employees. Its lessons were continually reinforced through town hall meetings and other forums, where people at all levels asked questions and shared ideas about how to fulfill their purpose. Before the recession, Anderson would have rejected Robles' statement about purpose as empty, simplistic rhetoric. But having run into a dead end in figuring out how to make his own organization thrive, Anderson was re-examining some of his basic assumptions about management, and he was open to what Robles was saying.